This is the Quizizz 8th grade math SBAC review, part 6. For number 1, translations, reflections, and rotations are all known as transformations. For number 2, name the transformation. Well, I'm going to use patty paper to demonstrate. So we have translations, rotations, and reflections. So what I'm going to do is first show a rotation. A rotation actually turns clockwise or counterclockwise. So if I turn this counterclockwise, you can see that the image is now upside down. Here's your pre-image. And if I do it clockwise, it's upside down. So this is not a rotation. A translation is a slide. I'm sliding it on the paper here. And if I slide it over, it doesn't match up. So a translation can slide anywhere on the paper, up, down, sideways, diagonally. It doesn't matter. You just can't rotate it, and you can't make it larger or smaller. So this is not a translation. A reflection, think of like a butterfly or a reflection in the mirror, or if I closed a book. So if I flip it, so I'm going to flip it to the other side, and you can see that it matches up perfectly. So this transformation is a reflection. For number 3, when you reflect a shape, you flip it, slide, rotate, or expand. Well, as I showed you previously, you flip a shape when you reflect it. Sliding is a translation, rotating it is a rotation, and expanding would be a dilation, making it larger or smaller. When you translate x, comma, y plus 6, you move. So here's your x coordinates, this is your y coordinates. So for your x coordinates, you're keeping it the same, so nothing's going to change. So your x coordinates go horizontally, left and right. So it's not going to move left and right, that's going to stay the same. Your y coordinates on the y-axis go up and down. So since we're going to add 6 to the y, it's going to increase, go up. So it will move 6 units up. Number 5, when you translate x minus 4, comma, y, well, now you look at the x-coordinate and you're taking away 4 from it. So remember, x-coordinates go left and right. When you go to the right, it's increasing. When you go to the left, it's decreasing. So you're decreasing by 4, so you're going to go 4 units to the left. For number 6, identify the transformation from ABCD to ABCD prime. So this is our pre-image, this is our image. When you see the prime marks, that's going to tell you where you're ending up. If it doesn't have a prime mark, that's where you start. So from A to A prime. Let's look at B, reflection across the y-axis. So I highlighted the y-axis, yellow, and remember I'm going to flip this over. If I flip it over, now you see, and I line up the origin cross, A and D prime line up, D and A prime line up, so that is not the image of this pre-image. So it's not a reflection over the y-axis. Now let's try a reflection over the x-axis. I highlighted the x-axis, pink, and we're going to reflect or flip it over, line it up with the origin, and you can see it's not a reflection over the x-axis. It's here in the quadrant 4. For D, a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation, counterclockwise, opposite of the way of a clock moves or rotates, and 90 degrees. So I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise, and I'm going to line up the origin cross there, and you can see that that's definitely not a 90 degrees counterclockwise. Here's 180, 270, and a full 360 gets us back. So it's not a 90 degrees counterclockwise rotation. So I'm going to use patty paper again, so I just traced over. Now here I put the origin cross here to line it up. So you always want to start with that. Then I traced over the pre-image. Now let's start with a translation or a slide. So if I slide it over, and again I'm keeping this cross on the x-axis, I'm sliding it over, and you can see that they line up. A lines up with A prime, B lines up with B prime, and so forth. For number 7, identify the transformation. So again, here is my pre-image. Here is my image with the prime marks. So I'm going to use patty paper and line up the origin cross. And first I'm going to try a reflection across the y-axis, and the y-axis highlighted yellow. And I'm going to flip it over, and they do not line up. So it's not a reflection across the y-axis. Next, I'm going to try a 90-degree rotation counterclockwise. So I'm going to rotate it, keeping it on the origin. And there's a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation, and that does not line up. D, I'm going to translate it or slide 5 units to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see that I was just looking at the origin cross when I did that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1 unit down. Well, that doesn't work either. For C, I'm going to translate 5 units to the left. And I'm looking at the origin cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1 unit up. 1 unit up. And there it is, it matches. If you didn't have patty paper, then what I would do is here's C, and I'm going to go 5 units to the left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1 unit up. And I'm going to try that for each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units to the left, 1 unit up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units to the left, 1 unit up. So C, translate 5 units left, 1 unit up is the correct answer.